The simulation is broken. Can we all be honest about that? Can we all be honest that something is really wrong? Can we stop gaslighting people for saying they're not okay? Can we stop blaming people for not being okay? For being unhappy? For being unable to pay their bills? For being unable to socialize? For being unable to fit in? For being unable to get what they want out of life? Or for not wanting anything out of life? For being too tired that they don't want anything out of life? Can we stop blaming people for feeling that way? Can we just admit that the simulation is broken? You would never choose to have an experience if you are going to be miserable and be having that experience for the sake of having that experience. There's nothing to gain, there's nothing to learn. You are just having an experience. Not enjoying the experience at all. The experience really sucks for you. Can we agree that this is not working? Yes, we have technology in our homes. Technology that allows us to communicate with people who don't live with us. People in other countries. We're able to see what's going on in other countries in real time. When our favorite artist release music, we don't need to go to a store to buy a hard copy. Just purchase the music online. Isn't that beautiful? We have cars. You don't have to get tired walking if you want to go to a different province, if you want to go to a different state. Things are much easier than they used to be. But people are less happy than they used to be. Doesn't that tell us that something is wrong? Even if it got to a point where you could have everything that you want, if you do this like Thanos, just have what you want, you wouldn't be happy. The real problem is that the simulation is broken. People are already tired. People have seen enough. People are demoralized. They've lost hope. They don't believe in this anymore. They've wanted the things that they've wanted for too long, that they've given up. Men are giving up on dating. Men naturally love women, but relationships ain't working, bro. What should men do? They know that relationships ain't working. They know that something is wrong, so they're like, hey, we ain't gonna try anymore. It is what it is. We are tired of suffering. Women are doing the same thing. Men are blaming women, women are blaming men. People are tired of working shitty jobs. They're tired. Waking up very early in the morning, going to work a job that is killing you slowly. You're not happy. You don't enjoy your work. The people that you work with, you and these people don't get along. Don't get along very well with your boss, but you have to be there. That's demoralizing. People are tired. People are so tired that even when things seem to be going well, they feel so damn demoralized that they actually don't feel anything, even when things are going well. The simulation is broken. Our happiness isn't a priority anymore. What makes any conscious being to want to have an experience is happiness. If you decide to go and purchase a video game, what are you hoping to gain? What are you hoping to gain when you play that video game? Isn't it happiness? When you decide to go on holiday, what are you hoping to gain? Is there something that we do because we don't want to be happy? Are there people like that? It's just like, you know what, I do not want to be happy. What can I do to be unhappy? Happiness is the most important thing to sentient beings. We do what we do because we want to be happy. You could be dating a person that is treating you well, that is doing what they can to make you happy. But if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, you probably want to be with another person because you want to be happy, you want to be satisfied. So the point is in being with someone. The point is being with someone that makes you happy because you want happiness. You don't want to just have an experience. You want happiness. So if people ain't happy, and we're blaming them for not being happy, what are we really doing as a society? You're not happy because you don't work hard. You're not happy because you're not strong, you're not tough. Shouldn't we all blame ourselves? If we can't blame ourselves, shouldn't we blame whatever created this simulation for us? What we must understand is that we do contribute to each other's pain, to each other's happiness. That's life. So if people are not happy, then because there are multiple conscious agents in this reality, and the things that they are doing affect other conscious agents. It's not like the things that I do only affect me. Then maybe we need to blame ourselves to some extent. But we'll also need to ask ourselves why this simulation was designed the way that it was designed. I was watching an interview on the Lex Friedman podcast. Lex Friedman was interviewing this other computer scientist. I think his name is Ramon Yolfowski or something like that. I'm not good with names, bro. But this guy said that he wrote a paper on the value alignment problem. He's attempting to solve the value alignment problem. We're saying that we could never really solve the value alignment problem unless we found a way to create personal visual realities. You can never solve the value alignment problem for multiple agents because they have different values, right? They've had different experiences, they have different interests, they have different cultures, they have different morals, they have different ethics. Can you imagine if I was born in a Muslim country? I like drinking. And they say, oh, that's wrong, you shouldn't be drinking. You're an abomination, you shouldn't be drinking. You should be arrested, you should be... I would suffer. Not because I'm a bad person, not because I'm inadequate, not because I want to suffer, not because I'm doing anything wrong, really. Value alignment problem. There are some people who like, hey, drinking alcohol is wrong. And they believe that it is wrong. They believe that there's nothing good that can come out of drinking alcohol. But if I don't feel that way, should I suffer because other people feel that way? You see, the value alignment problem. Like, we don't want the same things. We don't want the same things as people. So in a world like that, happiness is almost impossible. I mean, happiness would be possible if we understood how different we are. You see, the problem is that human beings don't understand how different they are. You look at another person and you're like, that person is exactly like me. So if they behave in a way that seems strange, something is wrong with them, right? Because every person must be like me, because that's a human. I'm a human. I'm behaving this way because I'm a human. And that's a human. So that human must behave the way that I behave. They must hold the same values that I hold. If they have different values, there's a problem. It means there's something wrong with them, and I must try to change them somehow. We don't understand that we're different. If we understood that we were different, we wouldn't be trying to control other people. If you are doing something and I'm not being affected in a negative way, even if I'm disgusted by what you're doing, I must understand something that is really important, which is that I'm not you, bro. I mustn't be like, no, we shouldn't allow this as a society. We shouldn't allow this. You see, I'm being a child. Believe it or not, if I'm going to be like that, I'm being a child. I'm failing to understand that people do not have the same values. I want to impose my values on other people. They must share my values. If they don't share my values, it means that there is something wrong with them, and they should be punished if they don't want to share my values. Now we are being forced to share the values of those who are more privileged than us. And someone very powerful says, for us to have a better society, people must work 8 hours a day. Find that person, their job is to monitor everyone. Like, they're not really, like, they are working, but it's kind of like fun because they are on top and they're being treated like kings. But how would that be like for someone who's doing hard labor? Imagine if the people who are powerful in this world say that everyone must procreate. If you don't procreate, you're not going to be able to buy a house. But you find that some people are really broke. They can't really take care of children because they're broke. But the people who are powerful don't really care because they can take care of children because they're not broke. Value alignment problem. Someone privileged says sex before marriage is a sin, but they have enough money to marry at any time. See? They have enough money to marry at any time. Your broke ass does not have money. So you're going to have to work for many years before you get married. Maybe you marry at the age of 35. They married at the age of 18. They married at the age of 18. They're good. Value alignment problem. So yeah, the guy said, no, to solve the value alignment problem, we must have our own personal visual realities. And I was laughing when he was saying that because the truth is that we are in our own visual realities. Whether we like to look at it that way or not, we are in our own visual realities. No one is experiencing life from my perspective. No one really understand what I like. You might understand me, but you cannot say that you completely understand me. I'm in my own universe. I'm in my own reality. I have my own secrets. I have my own memories. I have my own personal truth. My own, you know what I mean? So that means I'm living in my own reality. The problem is that there are people who fail to understand that. They say, no. You shouldn't live the way that you live. You must be forced to live like everyone else. So even if we created different visual worlds for, multiple agents, you find that you find yourself in your own visual world that is accustomed to your needs, like desires, and there will still be people who will be like, no. No one should want their world to be like that. That is immoral. That is immoral, and they will try to fight that. The same way that we still have people who are fighting against the legalization of euthanasia. Like a person wants to switch off their video game and someone is like, no, you can't switch off his video. Like, what do you people even want? I remember today on TikTok I came across a video about a lady who in Belgium who was like healthy, no problem, nothing, who applied for the right to, and it happened, and people were complaining. Like, why are you complaining? It needs to get to a point where whether we agree with other people's personal choices or not, we must also understand that they're living in their own visual realities, and we must allow them to live in their own visual realities. The moment I say, no, I don't agree with you and you shouldn't be allowed to do what you want to do, even if it doesn't affect me, I'm being a child. You smoke. I have a problem with you smoking. You smoking does not affect me in any way. I should just try to enjoy my own visual reality. Focus on what's happening in my own visual reality. Because I don't understand you. I don't know what you really are. I don't know where you come from. I don't know your level of consciousness. Maybe you are less conscious than I am, or you're more conscious than I am. That's very possible. So if you are less conscious than I am, of course you're going to enjoy things that I might not necessarily enjoy. The same way that if you have children, you see that there are things that they enjoy that you wouldn't enjoy, you see? Because you are more, I don't know if I should say you're more conscious than them, but you've already passed that stage, right? They might not enjoy what you do. They might feel like what you do is boring, even if it's not really boring for you. So if we're unable to solve the value alignment problem now, we would never be able to solve the value alignment problem, even if we created personal visual realities. Because there will still be this, I don't know if these people are just spoiled, I don't know if they're just, I don't know, like for me it doesn't make sense. You can't go on strike just because they've legalized people's right to choose what they do with their own bodies. You have a problem, you go on strike. Like, are you so miserable that you can't have fun and you don't want any other person to be free because you yourself is so damn miserable? You are in this prison, right? You are in this bubble and you can't get out of that bubble. So when you see another person being free enough to get out of that bubble and enjoy their lives, you have a problem. If you see another person free enough to be able to even choose to exit their bubble, peacefully, you have a problem. Like, for me, it doesn't make sense. The reason why a lot of people are not happy is because they're being forced to share other people's values, especially the values of those who are more powerful than them, because these are the people who are making decisions for everyone. You see the problem? You must go to school. But what if you don't want to go to school? What if you want to take a different path? You must work. What if you don't want to work? What if you want to take a different path? The problem is that the humans who are more powerful than other humans use these humans for their own benefit. So your values do not matter. What matters is my value. So if I want to enjoy this experience, I must work very hard and get on top. Like, do what is necessary to get on top. And I've been telling you that you don't, like, if you really want to be on top, you'd have to screw a lot of people over. That's just how it works. You have to not care about how your actions are affecting others. So okay, you're on top now. You are able to force other people to share your values because they're trying to survive. That's what's gonna make you happy. But they're not gonna be happy. Doesn't that tell us that the simulation is broken? think about it. What do I do if the president of South Africa decided tomorrow that people shouldn't have to? I mean, I don't have a tattoo, but let me give you a very simple example. I've already told you guys what happened, like why I have this scar. In 2019, I applied you know, to become a policeman. I wanted to join the South African police force. But here's the thing: they don't want people with tattoos, right? Discrimination. That's discrimination. Like I laugh when people, the same people who have a problem with people who have tattoos had problem with the apartheid government. Like that's look, this is discrimination. You don't understand people with tattoos, so you're like, we don't want people with tattoos. So and here's the biggest problem. I can still understand if you say, hey, yeah, we don't want people with tattoos, and you give your own reasons. It's fine, but why don't you accept people with tattoos and then you make them sign a contract if they want to sign a contract and say that says, hey, I'm gonna have my tattoo removed should I get selected to become a policeman. I will have my tattoo removed within 6 months, within a year. I mean, doesn't that make sense? Isn't that logical? Because people have different values. People view life differently. People want to express themselves differently. We live in a country where the unemployment rate is so damn low that people are desperate. I was desperate. You know what I did? When they called me to, like, I was supposed to take a test, and I know they don't want tattoos, like they check if you have like a tattoo. Doesn't matter if you drew the tattoo when you were 6. It doesn't matter if you drew the tattoo if you were 11. It doesn't matter if you drew the tattoo last year. They don't want people with tattoos. So I told my mom that, okay, mom, you can see that we broke. To be honest with y'all, we're broke. You can see that we live in a country where there's no opportunities. You can see that I have done what I needed to do. Like, that's 100% true. And I like that my mom would always tell me that, like, yo, you did everything right. Like, I can't blame you. You literally did everything right. And she's 100% like, I did everything right. I did everything right. I got my qualifications, like, I'm good. But we live in a country where there's no employment. Even like more than 60% of young people are not employed. That's not a joke. That is true. So I was like, okay, mom, they don't want a tattoo. If I have a tattoo, they're gonna automatically reject me. So we have to do something about this. So it's like, I can't cut this thing out. So let's use an iron. Let's bend this thing. Of course, you wouldn't agree, but me being me making a lot of sense, because I make a lot of sense. I always speak the truth. Like, hey, we are broke. I don't want this. You know that I don't want this, but we need to do what needs to be done, because this ain't gonna be how we live our lives. Of course, we're in a situation where we're so damn desperate that really we have to do these crazy things that, I mean, I wouldn't do some crazy things, but I'm the only person who really get hurt. I mean, maybe not the only person, because you'll also be hurt, but I mean, at least I'm not doing something to another person. I'm the one who's going to suffer. Yeah, after hours of arguing, she ended up agreeing, and because I wanted her to do it, because it wouldn't be easy, like, because the tattoo is this side, and it was a big ass tattoo. Because we banned the tattoo. It was very painful, bro. It worked. I went to ride the next day. No money at all. No money for food. nothing. And we had to ride at 7 p.m. We were supposed to ride in the morning, but I don't know. These people are so damn disorganized that the whole thing was done wrong. So I had to be there the whole day without money for food. And I'm in pain. Man, country. So, okay, I'm in pain. Yeah, I wrote. And I did make it because, with I'm just next level, bro. So I did pass. But here's the problem. In 2013, I did something that got me locked up. I was involved in the fight, so I was asked to pay 300 for bail. 300 is like $15, 15 between $15 and $20. I was asked to pay 300 for bail. They asked me, "Yo, man, do you admit that you're guilty?" I was like, "Yeah, I do admit that I'm guilty because I did fight with someone, and I don't think that's legal. So it is what it is. I don't want to go to court. It's unnecessary. It is what it is. We're gonna forgive each other. It's fine." But that actually meant that's admission of guilt, right? So that meant that I'm gonna have a criminal record. They didn't tell me that. They didn't say, hey, that's what I'm telling you. Everything is like it's planned, because that's unfair. They don't tell me that, hey man, you're gonna have a criminal record if you admit that you're guilty. I just thought, I mean, can you imagine if I'm a person who apologizes, even when I'm wrong. I apologize for the sake of apologizing, because I want peace. I don't want to fight with people for stupid reasons. So I just thought, why should I argue with this person? Why should I be like, I'm the one who's right? Like, it is what it is. Forgive me. I admit that I'm guilty. That's it. And then they were like, yo, pay 300. I was like, I don't have it. So they put me in a cell. And then a few hours later, they came with this paper and this ink, and I had to put my fingers. I didn't think that meant anything. I didn't know shit about how things work. But then it turns out that I have a criminal record, so I can't be employed. Can you imagine? I mean, that should actually tell you something, because that also means that people cannot change, right? I mean, I haven't fought with anyone since 2013. I've changed completely. I told myself that I'm not gonna. I try my best to avoid fighting. I remember I had a conversation with my uncle about this. Like, bro, whenever I find myself having to fight with someone, I will try my best to avoid fighting them unless they hit me. Cause I ain't no punk. Don't hit me, you, bro. Straight, don't touch me. But I will say what I need to say to get out of a fight. Because why should we fight? Fighting is stupid. Mayweather fights for 100 million, bruh. And I'm supposed to fight you for free? You know what I mean? It's stupid. I don't want to fight. I don't think there's anything to gain out of fighting anyone unless it's for money. Logan Paul will be making millions. Jake Paul will be making millions. Tank. But yeah, I have changed. I don't fight with people. Most people will have fought with the people that I've tried to avoid. But still, I have a criminal record. I'm a bad person. That doesn't change. That tells us this thing is broken, because we are being oppressed, because we don't understand one another as people, and that these people in power who are making decisions that don't even make sense, and these people in power, they are doing a lot of things that are actually illegal. They're stealing millions. They don't get arrested. They still have jobs. The president of our country, very corrupt individual, but he's the president of our country. But we can't even get basic employment because of something stupid, something that they charged me $15 for 300 rand. Like, really? You understand why it is impossible for people to be happy? The people who are in power are making it hard. You cannot be happy because you can feel it. Like, you can feel it inside that something that is happening isn't right. That's the value alignment problem. The people who are on top are the ones who are making decisions for the people who are at the bottom. And they're not making decisions for the people who are at the bottom. They're making decisions for themselves. Decisions that will benefit them, not decisions that will benefit those who are at the bottom. You see? Value alignment problem. So of course, if you live in a world with 8 billion agents who have their own interest, so like these agents want what you want. It's not like these agents are operating at the same level of consciousness that you're operating on. Some of these agents want to unalive you. Some of these agents are jealous. Some of these agents don't ever want to see you. They hate you. You see the problem? How are you going to be happy? It's a setup. It's a setup. There are people who really hate you. There are people who really want to destroy you. There are animals who have been programmed to want to unalive you. If a cobra appeared, it wouldn't want to understand that I'm just recording a video and I'm not a threat. And I also wouldn't understand that maybe it's just trying to pass. It's not a threat. You know what I mean? We can't fix the value of the value alignment problem in a world where we are being set up. In a world where we have different interests, different values. And you find that some people are interested in exploiting other people. Like, that's what makes them happy. That's another problem. Like, what makes some people happy is controlling you. It's having you as their slaves. Like, that's what makes them happy. What makes some people happy is them getting something that you have. So you can see that it's a setup. And people want to say, oh, this is good. No, it is not. Not even close. You know, it's a Hunger Game type of world. You see, in Hunger Games, it was kill or be killed, right? I mean, yeah, it's not really like that in this realm, but it's get what you want, or something that you want is going to be taken away from, or you're not going to have what you want. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. And also there's that aspect too. Like, you can be in a situation where you know, unalive or being unalived. So it's kind of like that too. I've seen good people suffer. I've seen good people get taken advantage of. I've seen good people get unalived. They've not done anything wrong, but someone decides that, hey, I want something that this person has, so I'm unaliving them. Like, I've seen a person gets unalived even though they gave, you know, the people who unalived them what they wanted. I want your cell phone. Okay. Like, you got what you wanted. Why we live in a world like that? And there isn't anything outside of us that cares. That's like, hey, but that's just wrong. That's just unfair. Like, no. We deal with that every day. That happens every day. There's no solution. So what makes us think that I mean, I know some of y'all don't think that, but that computer scientists were saying that we need our personal, to be in our personal universes. And yeah, those who we agree with on a lot of things can visit our universes, but it's just the same as, you know, now, you know, we live in our own world, but still there are people who want to come into our world and violate us. There are people who want to control us. There are people who want to tell us what to do, what to think. People who are trying to impose their values on us, their morality on us. You see? You can't choose what to do with your own body, because there are some people who are still children. Like we and I think the reason why these people who are still children seem to be winning is because the people who are in power want everyone to be like them, because they want to gain more power, and they're going to gain more power by manipulating these people who are still like children, right? So they're going to be like, oh yeah, there's these people who are complaining, oh, they don't want to be free. This is brilliant, you know. They believe that being free is immoral. Like seriously, there are people in this world who believe that being free is immoral. Like, yeah, they believe that being free is immoral. That's brilliant. That means we can just work with these people. We can just pretend as if we listen to these people, right? And this is what the people are saying. So this is brilliant. We're going to benefit a lot by listening to the people who are still like children. The people who are very conscious, let's not even pay attention to them. In fact, let's make sure that their voices are not heard, because hey man, truth makes a lot of sense. Truth is more powerful than lies. It's not that truth is not more powerful than lies. I mean, it's not that truth is less powerful than lies. The problem is that we are hearing lies more. It's not that truth is more powerful than lies. Why do I keep on saying that? It's not that lies are more powerful than truth. It's just that we're hearing the truth more. Yep. It's not that lies are more powerful than truth. It's just that we're hearing lies more. So people end up believing lies because, well, that's what they're hearing. There are people who never do their own research. Like most people don't even do their own research. Like more than 80% of people that you know don't even know anything really. They just only know what they're being told, right? They don't know anything outside of what they are being told. They don't do their own research. They just believe the people who are in power. And let me tell you why they believe the people who are in power. They believe the people who are in power because they seem to be supporting them. So if you are ignorant and you don't know that you deserve freedom, and you say you don't deserve freedom, and the person who's in power, because, well, they don't want you to really be free, they'll be like, hey, I'm going to support this person, so you're going to feel like these people have your best interest at heart, while they're just manipulating you because you're just not conscious. And they know that you're not conscious. It's like if you, it's like these pastors in Africa who are manipulating their followers. They know that these people, you know what I mean? They know that these people are not conscious. They know that they can tell these people to do anything. Like they even sell them, like pastors can decide to sell alcohol and be like, okay, this alcohol is powerful. It's not like just any other alcohol. To people who don't drink alcohol, they know, like, yo, this alcohol is powerful. This alcohol was blessed. But in fact, this was water. I prayed for water to turn into alcohol. You drink this alcohol, you're going to be saved. They're going to believe that. Like, they believe anything. So can you imagine if in their churches there were people who were conscious enough to ask questions? Will these pastors, allow those kind of people to stand and in the pulpit and speak? Because they wouldn't allow them, because they will wake people up. So they'll allow the most ignorant people to win, because these are the people who are making them the most money by being ignorant, you see. So that's how it works in this realm. If you are really, really that real, they're going to ignore you. You're not supposed to become very popular, because you're gonna expose everything. That's how it works. Can you agree that this simulation that we are all part of, can call it a simulation because it's not real. I've been telling you all that. You can call it an illusion because it's not real. I've been telling you that. You can call it a dream because, well, it is. I've been telling you all that. You can even call it reality because you experience it as if it's real. So you can still call it reality. But can we all agree that this ain't working? This ain't it. Can we stop lying to ourselves? Can we stop brainwashing ourselves? Can we start looking for real solutions? Some people come up with solutions that perpetuate the problem. Can we come up with real solutions? Can we figure out what needs to be done? Because this ain't working. When I go out, I don't meet people who seem to be happy, who seem to be enjoying their experience here. I'll be honest with you, I don't see people who are happy. I don't see people who are enjoying their experience. I see people who are not happy. I see people who are sad. I see people who are heartbroken. I see people who feel alone. I see people who are tired. People who don't want to wake up and go to work. I see people who wish that their lives were different. Can we agree that this ain't working? I mean, it's working for those who are in power, but it's not working for the average person. That's the problem. Because for this to be working, it would need to be working for every conscious being. No one should come into this world and suffer, and then die. Like that's a scam. You come into this world and you end up working a shitty job, not being paid what you deserve to be paid. No one loves you. No one gives a shit about you. You're not happy, right? And then you die. Like that's a scam. You need to be happy. You need to be loved. You need to be understood. Like that's important. But the way things are right now, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel alone. A lot of people feel unloved. A lot of people feel misunderstood. That's wrong on so many levels. No one should feel alone. No one should feel unloved. So can we agree that this simulation isn't working? Can we agree that this simulation is broken? So that we'll know what we need to do. So that we'll figure out what needs to be done. So that we'll stop telling ourselves lies in order to like feel better about what's going on. Can we agree that even if this simulation was created for our enjoyment, even if this simulation was created for our happiness, something went wrong? You cannot tell me that consciousness would agree to be part of something that will leave it unfulfilled, unhappy, traumatized, and like, nah. You might say, why do you watch horror movies then? Because we get scared when watching horror movies. but we want to be entertained. It is possible to watch a horror movie where you just get scared. There's no entertainment. The storyline is horrible. Isn't it possible? So the intention was to watch a movie where you are entertained and you feel scared sometimes, but that's entertaining. Like you're feeling scared in a way that's entertaining. But then you watch a movie where you just get scared and traumatized and the storyline is horrible, so you're bored. That is possible. It's possible to listen to a song that sucks for you. It is possible to watch a movie that sucks for you. It's possible to have an experience that you just don't like. Should you be blamed? Should we say, yeah, you're a bad person because you're not enjoying the experience? Does that make sense? Or should we be like matured enough to understand that people don't see things the same way, they don't have the same values? People are different. So they're not gonna like the same things. So if we live in a society that has been turned into a cult, not everyone is going to wanna do things the way that things are supposed to be done in their cult, right? Individualism is not celebrated. If you're different, something's wrong with you. You must be hated for being different. You must be teased, bullied for being different, criticized for being different. That makes it impossible to be happy. People are demoralized. People lost hope. People are like, hey, I'm just doing this because, well, I feel obligated. But we don't want things to be that way. We want people to have an experience because they genuinely want to have that experience, not because they are being forced to have that experience. You see? Not because they are scared, not because they just don't know what else to do. On the post that I was telling you about earlier, not a post, like a video on TikTok, but it was about this lady who lived in Belgium, and who signed up for yeah, don't even want to say that because we're not even supposed to be talking about these things. It sucks. But yeah, this other lady was saying, and on the comment, like I've read the comments, and what's good is that a lot of people really understood why it is actually important for people to be allowed to make their own choices when it comes to that, right? So this other lady was like, yo man, look, if it wasn't for my son, if I didn't know, if I knew that my son was going to be loved by someone more than I loved him, maybe I would not have a problem making that choice. Like now I'm just doing all of this for my son, and that's dope. Because, well, if you bring a person into this realm, in my opinion, you've kind of lost the right to make a choice like that, unless you have a conversation with your child or your children and they agree. So if you live in a country where that's legal, fine, but you must have a conversation with the people that you've brought into this realm, because, well, they need you. They need a father, they need a mother. So are you going to be able to convince them that that's the right thing for you? I think I would have felt better in the world if I was free enough to truly be me without being judged, without feeling like I have to disown my values to fit in, to be accepted. I never really felt accepted. I was always judged for being myself. Like, if you're different, people are going to judge you and you're not really going to be accepted. But if you're like everyone else, if you are like how the higher ups want you to be, you're going to be accepted. Because the people at the bottom are being programmed to be exactly what the higher ups want them to be. They are being rewarded for being what the higher ups want them to be. So being forced to fit in, being forced to pretend as if I think society makes sense. I think the way that we live our lives is the way that life should be lived. Being forced to be like everyone else, that sucks. I would always choose to be myself. But if you choose to be yourself, you have to know that people are going to turn against you. You're not going to um, enjoy the luxury of being accepted and being understood, feeling like you belong. And that obviously causes suffering somehow. That makes the whole thing meaningless. So it's like you have two choices. You can just be like everyone else, but and be accepted, be loved, but still, you still be betraying yourself, and you know that you're betraying yourself, and you don't want to betray yourself. Thank you all, guys.